next Wednesday we'll be out on the island, and that's kind of more where you'll be gathering and writing and processing, and then on the last Wednesday the hope is that you'll kind of take all these things together and start working on one piece. And you get to decide if you want that to be poetry or fiction or nonfiction or what have you. The kind of unifying theme that I'm looking to get from you guys to kind of help focus what we're all doing together is that we're writing about a place. And if you've chosen fiction, your place might not be called Hurricane Island. And that's totally okay. It doesn't need to be about the island. But kind of thinking about the idea of setting as character and really bringing that setting to life. And setting can include a lot of different things. It can include the mood and the weather. It can include the people that are there.
Mine kind of went the opposite way. And I related it, the first prompt, to a baby elephant.
Oh.
I said I was reminded of the way a baby elephant reaches towards its mother.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Musty, metallic, dusty, warm. And so you're like, well, how can that be your favorite place? And then wait till I tell you why.
And her hand was velvety like the couch at the back of an antique shop.
Ooh. Nice texture in there.
Yeah.
This is just to kind of help you start sort of loosely planning how you're going to spend your time and energy next Wednesday.
And so this island became a little town because all these people were coming from other countries. They came here, they were drawn to it, and they lived on the island and had their families on the island. And so when you go out there next week, you're going to be like, what happened?
I want you to just list 3 or 4 places. This might be places from your past, a place you miss, a place you can't go back to, a place you vividly remember, a place you've never been to and you want to write to.
So far we've done a lot of writing exercises. We were writing letters to places that were special to us, and then having them write back to us, which was interesting, having like an inanimate object trying to have memories and feelings.
Do you remember staying your very first night? You were so excited to play in the tub with measuring cups and bubbles as you got cleaned up.
I remember saying goodbye to you as I left to go start new adventures in the I can still feel the tears fall down my sunburned cheeks. I've been wanting
the way it's laid out has been really nice just to ease ourselves into writing, and she's been doing lots of exercises, writing exercises with us. I think that kind of helps get the creative juices flowing.
Down sunburned cheeks really gives it this added layer.
The sound of your oven signaling delicious food, the feel of your cold window panes when it rained. Do you remember our sleepover?
I love the idea of letting just words come out of me, and I love the idea of sharing it with other people so they can also experience the happiness that I experience when writing.
That's always my favorite, is when you're sitting in a car and you can just see all the dust floating in it. I like to watch it.
It's just really painting that picture.
It's been really therapeutic today. I haven't written in a while, so it was very nice to be able to finally just take my thoughts in a creative way and put them down on paper instead of in school where it's all just very prescribed and it's you have to answer this question. And so it's just very nice to get my mind kind of out of that box and be able to think more just naturally.
So I want you to first focus on the things that you hear. What are the sounds that are resonating in your body? What are the things around us that are making sounds?
So Megan had us just lay down where we were. So in my case, that was on a picnic bench and just kind of get in touch and in tune with our surroundings and describe them to each other.
What do you notice about the light? turn your attention to what you feel. What does the air feel like on your skin? Temperature.
Taking in our surroundings and just putting as much detail as we can into what we're seeing into our writing. And I think with Hurricane Island, that's going to be really easy to do because there's just so many new things to look at and so many new things just to really get really think about and really get into detail about. And yeah, I think that's what I'm excited about. It's just kind of exploring the island and seeing what I can pick up on and just put together on a piece of paper. Yeah.
Very excited to just be surrounded by things because I've never been to Hurricane Island before, and it's not often that I'm just fully surrounded by wilderness.
For some reason, I'm not completely sure why, but right now I have something going through my brain about like ghosts of memories, and I'm hoping to get something out of that with like the history of the island, where it is very historically rich, to create something out of that.
I've never, not that I can remember, been to like Vinyl Haven or any of those other islands, so I guess just the chance to explore, get out a little more.
Oceanside. So happy you're here. My name's Kyle. I'm the education manager, so I'm going to be working with you all day. Super excited for everything we have planned.
And a year or two after that, I returned to the island to start working and to start teaching. I liked it so much here that I wanted to come back. And when I did, I started to learn more about the island, just like you're learning more about it today. When I arrived, there was no teacher here to greet me, and no hike and no tour. I just had to look around and make sense of it. But once I started talking to people and learning about the island, I found out that the island has a lot of history.
Okay, so hopefully you guys can find some inspiration, right?
Hopefully.
I don't know.
I
Could
know.
be tough.
It's kind of boring.
A little bit.
We've got some weird reference objects. This works. We've got water on both sides.
Right.
I have such a passion for these broken down things because I just like, it's like bones. They're like bones.
Like the fossil.
It is. It's a fossil. It's a bone. The fossils of industrialization here in Maine represented.
So this is to kind of continue that sensory walk in a way. But I want you to like write a 10-line poem, and it doesn't have to be a poem actually, but it can just, basically you're writing 10 lines using 10 objects from our surroundings or from our walk that you encountered. And so 10 lines, 10 objects, and all 5 senses. Any way you want to see those objects.
For example, barnacles can live really high up in the intertidal zone where there might not be water for a really long period of the day. Why might that? Does anyone have a guess why barnacles would be able to do that? Yeah, exactly. You could dry out. That's like the biggest adaptation that all the animals that are in the high intertidal zone have to think about. They can't just dry out if the tide doesn't come all the way up that day. After we talk about the different sampling methods, I just want you to go explore, see what you can find. I have some field guides in my backpack so you can try to identify some different things. And the whole time I want you to be thinking while you're looking at the animals, like what zone am I finding this animal in? Is it really, really low, right by the water line? Is it kind of in the middle, or is it really high up?
I was thinking we could go like over there in that little corner.
I have tried a bite, but I've never like cooked with it.
Once again, I can barely see.
Is it empty? Okay, there's a lot of the whelks in here at this time. There's not always some, there's certain times of the year you're out here and you won't see the whelks as we're seeing them now.
It's like...
And it's still working.
I can't tell if it's... I think it's dead.
But we definitely want like some different animals. That is kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah. So this one for scallops, this one for other species. As long as we remember.
Okay. Sorry, I gave you group names.
I'm going to be giving you guys 3 things right now. The first thing is a screen. Group 1, here's your screen. And then the last thing I'm going to give you is probably the most important thing, and that's an actual piece of the spat bag for you to sort.
This is the scald one.
You want to throw it in the water? It looks a little different when it's in the water than when it's out of the water.
Can you put it in there?
Which bucket is your scallop bucket?
That one. What is this?
See a lot of the slippers.
I call these, I don't know their fancy
That's what
name. I call these grandpa's toenails.
They look like grandpa's
toenails.
Yeah.
I think these are...
And when you see them, when you see just the shell, it looks even more like yellow.
on it.
How many bags did you
Put out? Just squirt these.
bring in? Is that all the ones brought in?
But not towards
So we set out 12 lines, and it got back 11. We had
The pointy parts at the end.
The new branch isn't really doing a whole lot.
Nobody saw any barnacles? No. Going once? Going twice? Sweet. Okay. Thank you guys so much for helping me collect all this data. This is really going to help. I'm going to take it all and I'm going to compare it to the type of big adult scallops I see on my dives. I'm going to compare it to last year's data, so I'm going to see if there are more scallops settling in this area, or if there's less, or if it's the exact same. And next year, I'm going to do the same thing. So you guys are contributing to a time series, which is really, really valuable because it lets us see what's happening in our waters and how it's changing over time.
The island is a place of tranquility. It's a time of reflection and discussion. The colors of the earth were mixed together in a melting pot and poured over the sea. The waves like to tickle the toes of this place.
I like that.
Yeah, that tickles the toes piece, really.
Nice alliteration. I really liked the idea that the island was like poured into the sea. Like it almost made me think of like drip castles when you take like wet sand and then you make like it's like poured and then it creates this like thing structure, and I thought that was or an island, and I thought that was really cool.
And on the hike, we passed by the ice pond that she told us about, so I included that. The ice pond was their favorite place. In the winter, it provided a place to skate, while in the summer, it provided a place for them to swim. Only the two of them knew it was there, having discovered it after getting lost in the woods. It was their special spot, and one that kept all of their secrets. It held the memories from then when they were young, splashing around and laughing. It held the memories of their first kiss and when they finally discovered what being in love actually was. It was there that they exchanged their vows, away from prying eyes that could never understand their relationship. It was there that she cried after the accident that tore them apart, taking her whole life with it. And it was there not long after the incident where she too died, this time not from the water, but from a broken heart.
Hear the rest.
The mind of a human child cannot comprehend its desires, but it can contemplate them. Perhaps what an island yearns for most ardently is the company of humankind. It emerges from the comfort of the waves and begins to grow. What would a human enjoy? The island asks itself. Humans are short-lived and therefore consume things mindlessly and obsessively, rarely pausing to hear their thoughts or immerse themselves in the intricacy of their surroundings.
The ache in her heart, not yet healed, allowed her to open her mouth to sing. The notes falling from her lips were sorrowful and true, telling the story of her making and a tale she would never forget.
So sirens meaning like, I was thinking silence, like,
No.
siren. I was like, oh, wait a minute, never.
Very different kind of siren.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I love that. The whole purpose of it is for them to write a piece of writing that is inspired by the setting that we're in, and to make the setting the character of the writing. And so that's what we've done today. The students have come and we've been able to spend the day kind of both having some exercises that and that she has created, but also giving them some free writing time, which is, you know, really valuable in a very busy student life, to be able to just have some downtime to just write. Pretty awesome. It's just a really beautiful place. So how do I feel when I'm here? There's a sense of contentment and just, I don't know, joy. I don't know how you can avoid it. You're in this place that you're so removed from the busy. You're removed from the things that distract us, and all you can do is sit and listen. And I think that that's a gift. And that's a gift I wanted to give to the students, because they don't get to do that much, unplug, and they really get to unplug and see what Maine has to offer them, which is really important to me.